Okay, so in the previous example, we saw in maybe more simple terms how Angular adds components. And in the previous tutorial to that, we showed an Ionic app with 3 pages in it, a tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and with a tab interface. So how would I go about adding a 4th page or a 5th page, etc.? Okay, well, Ionic has this concept called a page. So just as I was adding a component in Angular, you could also kind of a similar-ish kind of using the command line interface. You can also do something similar. I'm looking at a medium kind of like essay on this. And you can use the Ionic generate and page and followed by the name of the page. Just as in Angular, you could say, you know, Angular generate component, name of the component. But by creating a page, it's a specific kind of Ionic navigational item. So let's try doing that by going into the command line interface. Okay, I'm just going to terminate the serving of the file. So I'm going to say Ionic generate page, and then we'll try saying tab 4. Okay, Ionic generate page tab 4. Okay, so it's kind of like it should have therefore created an extra page. Okay, and it should have I'm hoping the same number of files as the other page, although it looks like it's got slightly more. Tab 3 module page, and it's got a routing one in here, which might not be necessary. Okay, so that's kind of let's do that, and let's do the same thing for 5. So Ionic generate page tab 5. Okay, and if we look in tab 4 in the tab 4 page.html, let's kind of make it a little more like our page 3. So let's take the page 3, tab 3. So I'm going to copy that into tab 4 page.html. Make that tab 4, and this is tab 4. And then I'm going to do the same with tab 5. Copying that into tab 5 page.html and pasting that in here. Tab 5. This is tab 5. So having done that, let's now go into. I'm not sure whether these routing pages are necessary. It's kind of print a tab 5 page. Notice the other ones don't have that. We'll leave them in there. We'll see if that causes any sort of problem. But for now, let's go going in the routing of these new tabs. So you see we've got here, so this is it's in a subcomponent tabs where the routing is taking place. So we've got here tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Okay, so let's kind of add here tab 4 and tab 5. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy again, and it's going to be tab 4 as the root. Tab 5 as another root, and this will be tab 4 dot module, and tab 4 page module, and tab 5 dot module, and tab 5 page module. So that should now have got the 5 tabs in. Now we've got to make sure we've got the 5 buttons. So let's go to so that is establishing all the routes. Now let's kind of look in here for the buttons, because these are the things which say activate the route. So there's tab. So let's make this for tab 4. This is the button for tab 4. This is the button for tab 5. Maybe let's get rid of all these icons because they're not particularly useful at the moment. So I'm going to get rid of the various icons, and then so now all we'll have is the labels, and I should make this to tab 4 and this one tab 5. Okay, so now if I file save all here at this point, having done that, let's see if we now do genuinely have a 5 tabbed app. So here we go, Ionic serve. And we'll just wait for that to compile. And here it is now in the browser. There's tab 2, there's tab 3, there's tab 4, there's tab 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So as you see, it's a very similar logic to Angular in terms of adding extra components. But as you see, if you like, navigationality, if you like, is more kind of embedded in Ionic, such that with this concept of a page, which exists in Ionic, and as far as I know, maybe doesn't in Angular, or maybe it does, but I don't know about it. But as you see, it makes it quite easy now to add many new components and and more content to the app.